Hi, so recently I said that I would be doing a video Q&A to celebrate 100,000 subscribers, and that is this video. So what I'm going to do is just scroll through the comments and answer questions that you guys may have pertaining to the series. And I know that I did a Q&A a little while back in the form of a comic, but since so many new subscribers have come in as of late, I wanted to take this opportunity to give them the chance as well to ask questions about the comic or just about anything that they want to know. So that's this video, and we're just gonna scroll through and see what people want to know, I guess. Sialski TM asks, is Toaster Dude happening in the same universe as Sunnyside Skies? If so, how do you think he would look like? Well, Toaster Dude is in Sunnyside Skies, but they're not in the same world per se. Toaster Dude is entirely like in Sunnyside Skies. He is a fictional character. So he is not in the same world. And Toaster Dude, Chase and Adam actually regularly appear as background characters, and there's even a small part of Toaster Dude where Jim is taking out a book and Sunnyside Skies is on the bookshelf. So in Toaster Dude, Adam and Chase are real people and fictional people, but in Adam and Chase's world, the world of Sunnyside Skies, Toaster Dude is just it's a fictional character, a fictional universe where they make, movies and books about them, and it's not a real thing that's going on. Like, bad guys aren't getting beaten up by a guy who wants his toaster in the world of Sunnyside Skies. It's just normal, I would say. Waksabi asks, do you have the story planned out? And to answer this question, it's yes and no. I have a good idea of what I want to happen. I know the scenes that I need to include, that are the important Hallmark scenes. I know the ending, and I already did the beginning. So I have the important key points that I want in mind. It's the process of getting there that's not completely certain. A lot of the little details that I include in the story, like the stuffed animal being in the refrigerator, or even Toaster Dude, was not in the original script. It was tacked on, and a lot of the jokes that I include as well, the little tidbits, like League of Legends being something that Chase plays, or the whole extra comic with black coffee as a motivator, those were completely on the spot. They weren't planned out. So things like that, those tend to be on the moment types of things that were not taken into consideration during the planning stages, but I have the Hallmark scenes in mind. I know what I want to do with the story, and I know where I want it to go. It's just the tidbits of getting there, and certain other things, certain events in the story might change, but I know that the story is going to end up where I originally intended it to be in the end, and to be honest, that's all that matters to me. Can you make them into a Toaster Dude version style? Well, I've done that in the actual Toaster Dude comic, because I draw them as background characters, as I mentioned before. But I'll go ahead and do that right now. So the program I'm using here is MS Paint, and as we all know, it is the epitome of fancy software for professional artists. It comes with an installation of Windows, so not terribly out of the average person's budget, assuming you have a computer that has Windows. And we're just going to doodle stick figure Adam right here, and a Chase. That's pretty much what they would look like. That's how they look like in the comic if you go back and check the backgrounds. Iwaoi I think I pronounced that correctly, or maybe not, asks, how did you learn to draw and what made your style develop into this one? Oh, also, I really love your comic and appreciate every episode. Oh, thank you. So I kind of learned just online by looking at tutorials like, Mark Curly, or just random tutorials for pretty much everything, and then just a lot of practice on my own. So that's how I learned. And how did my style develop into this one? I think style is something that I don't think style is ever 100% original. I think you take from the artist that you like, which is kind of what I did. I saw artists whose work I really loved, and for some reason their style just was something I really liked, so I took from them. And other artists as well who I liked, and I kind of combined their styles into this conglomeration of just things that I liked, and eventually it just started to evolve on its own and became mine. So if you're ever worried about your style not being original, don't get so bothered by that, I suppose, because no style is ever going to be 100% original. And even if you're trying so hard to develop your style, just don't worry so much, because it's something that happens naturally, and just do what you like, because that's essentially what your style should be. Just something that you enjoy doing and that you like looking at. So just do whatever you want to do, and eventually, once you've done it enough, it'll just kind of merge into its own thing. Yaya and Boog asks, what are your favorite webtoons right now? Also, who are your favorite YouTubers? And if you were to live anywhere, where? Well, to answer the first one about webtoons, I really like Super Secret and I Love You and Boyfriend of the Dead. That's probably my favorite, actually. So, probably those ones. I also need to start Siren's Lament. Well, I mean, I did start it, but, I only read, a few episodes, so I really need to continue it, because I've heard really good things about it. I also read a good amount of Lookism, but I haven't been keeping up with that just because it's so long. And I still follow with Blue Chair and Live With Yourself. Okay, so the second one is, who are your favorite YouTubers? And to be honest, I don't really keep up with too many YouTubers nowadays, if really any at all. But I have been watching a lot of Report of the Week, and if you don't know who that is, it's basically some guy in a tuxedo, or, well, it's some guy who wears a lot of suits, and he reviews fast food restaurants like pizza and Burger King and things like that. And he's just a very wholesome guy. He differs from a lot of people on YouTube who are generally can be kind of loud or obnoxious, and I just appreciate that he's an all around, he seems very genuine, he seems very calm, and that's a style that I really enjoy seeing, because it's so rare to see, I suppose. One Anime asks, when will Toaster Dude return? And Toaster Dude is a comic that I work on in my free time, and at the moment the update schedule is around once per month, but it's whenever I have free time, and lately, because I've been so busy with Sunnyside Skies as my main focus, and I've been trying to update it more regularly. So honestly, it's whenever I have time that I update Toaster Dude. So there's no set schedule for that, and it will return when it does. Manufacturer Problem asks, question for the author, have you ever written any fanfictions during your childhood? Because the story is simple but very enjoyable, I want to be able to write to that capability. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad that it portrays itself as that way. Honestly, I don't think my writing is too strong. I just do things that I find would be enjoyable. One of my favorite mangas is Yotsuba, and the fact that every chapter that I read makes me happy, and it's just very fun to read. That's something I very, very much enjoy, and I wanted to kind of have my comic get that across as well. But to answer your question, did I ever write fanfictions? The answer is not really. I wasn't a big fan fiction writer, or reader for that matter. I mean, I read a few, and I think I wrote one or two, or maybe more than that, but like ironically. But yeah, I was never a very serious fanfiction writer. I wrote a chapter of a League of Legends fanfiction when I was like 13 or 14, and again, that was more as a joke between my friends and I. So I haven't done anything serious. I'm not like an avid fanfiction writer, but yeah, I did write a few when I was younger. So Anya X Val asks, will Chase and Adam's relationship go deeper than now? I feel like I've been reading this book forever, and I've barely seen any awesome BL moments. So this is a question that I get quite often, and well, to answer your question, or I guess avoid answering your question, I intend to keep it vague. And I know that a lot of you guys can get kind of annoyed by that, because you want to see them kiss and all that. I get many of those comments. To be honest, I want to keep it vague for now. It's intentional. Yes, I am doing the thing that you all hate, but you know, I just want to focus on developing a relationship between two characters, and I don't want to rush into things or put things that I personally would not like just to please everyone else. I'd like to go at my own pace, and I'm sorry if that bothers you, but it's going to be the type of story that I aimed for it to be, which is just honestly a fluffy slice of life with whatever I feel like in it. And you know, I'm not gonna let comments change that unless it's like genuine constructive criticism. If it's just people saying that they wish that, you know, my characters would bond faster, it's not something that I intend to make happen. And you know, again, I know a lot of you are going to be unhappy with that, but I've always appreciated this type of relationship, and it's something that I don't see very often nowadays, because I feel that especially when it comes to BL, that these types of relationships are often very rushed or even just unhealthy. So I wanted to go a different route with my comic than I guess a lot of those types. So maybe some of you might not be happy with that because you're so used to the formula, or you're tired of waiting. And you know, there are plenty of other comics that will satisfy that demand, and you can always go to them. You don't have to stay if you really don't want to, but I do plan to pursue this storyline at my own pace, and that's just how it is. If you really want to see them be lovey-dovey and all that, though, you can subscribe to me on Patreon. I know it's kind of a shameless plug right there, but you know, it is an option. If you're willing to donate, you know, some money, then you know, I'd be more than willing to take requests from you guys and draw whatever you want me to do. So yeah, if you really want to see them romance each other, then you can always donate to me on Patreon, and I do post the occasional lovey-dovey picture on there if that's what you really want to see. So that's always an option, and I keep that open to you guys as well. So yeah, that's just where it stands at the moment. But as for the storyline that I upload onto Line Webtoon, it's going to go again as I wish it to be. What animals would Adam and Chase be? Well, I know this is a bit cliche, but I would say that Chase is a dog, like one of those really hyper breeds, and Adam would be either a wolf, like a lone wolf, or a cat. And, you know, that's totally cliche. Like, I'm pretty sure every comic you see has those types of animals for their characters, but, you know, it's genuinely what I feel them to be. Like, I could be different and say that, well, guess what, Adam is a turtle because, you know, he hides in his shell and chases a freaking sunfish, but you know, I honestly believe that Chase is definitely a dog and Adam is a wolf or a cat. Emo Emma asks, will you be introducing any more characters? I love the story and the characters so far, but I'm just curious. Love this webtoon, by the way. Thank you, Emma. I am planning on introducing more characters. In fact, later on in this chapter, they will be showing up, and as more chapters are added, we will get a few more characters, but the cast for this comic is not huge, so yeah, there will be more characters, and I genuinely hope that you like them. I know that when other characters are introduced, people will look at them, especially if there's a big ship going on. They'll see them and they'll think, oh, get out of here, we don't want you to you know, sink our ship. But honestly, I genuinely hope that you enjoy the characters that I have planned and don't end up hating them like I see a lot of other people do on different types of comics. Bookish Birdie asks, question, what would Adam and Chase's Hogwarts houses be? Okay, so I found this Hogwarts quiz online, and I'm just gonna take it pretending to be both of the characters, and we'll see what house I get into. Okay, so according to this BuzzFeed quiz, Chase is a Hufflepuff, and Adam is a Ravenclaw, so I hope that was able to answer your question about which houses they belong in. One Universe asks, what inspired you to create the looks of Adam and Chase? By the way, Chase is the all-time fave for me. He kind of reminds me of 707. To be honest, they were just kind of spur-of-the-moment designs that I didn't pay too much attention to at the time because, again, I created this comic with the intention of simply just getting out of art block, and therefore I didn't expect it to you know, become this whole big thing. And so their designs were just very haphazard and very quickly designed. So neither of them were really based off of anyone. I do see Chase often compared to 707 or the Persona 5 protagonist, but no, they were not. I haven't played Persona, and I have played Mystic Messenger, but I wouldn't say that he was inspired by 707 in too much of a way. So I think it was just a coincidence. Maybe a bit of 707's personality leaked into Chase. Maybe it was the glasses that were inspired by 707. But it's very difficult for me to pinpoint inspiration when it's something that I just came up with in the spur of the moment. So, you know, I could see 707 influencing Chase's character. It's just not something that I've ever really considered myself. Nancy M asks, what is your favorite thing about each character, and how did you come up with their personalities? Well, again, it was a bit of a spur-of-the-moment kind of decision. I do like opposites attract stories, so I like to think that the characters were based off of that trope, I suppose. So then their personalities just kind of followed suit. Just, you know, the happy guy, the stoic guy, being friends and all. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. It was a spur of the moment kind of decision, and not too much thought was put into their characters initially, though later on I began to add on to them and develop them further as I continued to write the story. And my favorite thing about each character, I like that Chase is, he's hype. He's very energetic and excitable. So I guess that's my favorite thing about Chase. And my favorite thing about Adam is probably that he's relatable. He's an emo kid, and I guess I relate to that. Trashtown 11 asks, it's silly, but what drink would you order at the coffee shop? And to be honest, when I go to Starbucks, I'll get a cafe mocha usually. yeah, just a simple one, nothing really added unless I'm really tired for some reason. Then I'll get an extra shot maybe, but usually that would make it a bit too bitter for my tastes. Yeah, when I go to Starbucks, I don't just order black coffee, because if I wanted black coffee, I could just stay at home. I usually want to opt for something sweeter, and I do drink black coffee on a regular basis. It's just when I go to Starbucks, well, if I'm paying, extra, then I want to have, something else given to me besides just straight up black coffee. So yeah, I usually order a cafe mocha, which is what Chase gets as well. Although he adds like a ton of syrup and whipped cream on that I do not. But yeah, I know that in the comments, I think a barista said that she works at Starbucks, and in her free time she made a drink with all of the syrups and extra stuff that Chase puts inside of his drink, and she said that it wasn't bad after she had like 4 extra shots in there. So I mean, I guess it's an okay drink. I'm pretty sure you would die if you had that on a daily basis, but I mean, we're all gonna die eventually, right? Yesty Cosmo Girl 21 asks if we'll be getting more backstories about Adam and Chase, and they also ask for a character chart, but I mean, I've gotten that request quite a bit, and I might consider it, but I'd also like to keep personal things like this kind of vague, just so that, well, I like the character to be revealed through the story itself rather than just a sheet that says all of the little details about them. So maybe we'll get a character chart, maybe not. But for the first question, yeah, I definitely do have background episodes planned for each of them, and they're actually both fairly long. However, they won't be making an appearance until much later, so you'll just have to watch out for that, and it will come eventually, but just not at the moment. Rosie asks, could you draw them as chicken nuggets? And I usually don't take requests here. I usually, reserve those for the Patreon, as I have mentioned before. But you know what? I've never gotten a request to draw them as chicken nuggets. So, you know what? Let's do that. Let's go back to MS Paint. Here. I hope this piece of art right here satisfies your demands. Sammy, or Sam-my15, asks, when you started doing this webtoon, did you expect so many people to affiliate it with BL? And, to be honest, I did, yeah, definitely. I expected people to ship the characters, because honestly, it's what I would do if I was the one reading the comic. So, that was, expected. What I didn't expect was so many people to read it, and I wasn't expecting that at all. Like, I used to upload my comics back on Instagram on my little comic account, and I had a few hundred subscribers there, a few hundred followers, maybe 100 something. I had like a very small group of people who read my stuff, but I never expected like this level of popularity to come from Webtoon. Once I started posting there, like, one of my fans was like, hey, you should post on Webtoon, so I was like, okay, why not? It's just like another platform, right? But then, like, it blew up, and I was so surprised, and, it's really cool still. Like, I'm still often in disbelief at how many people are out there actually reading my work. I sometimes, like, I'll be walking and I'll just hear someone talking about it, and I'll be like, what the heck? But yeah, it's really cool, and it was definitely not expected at all. I think the one thing I don't like about the popularity is that I can't reply to everyone's messages anymore. I used to be able to, respond to everyone's comments, but nowadays, since there are just so many, it's very hard to do that kind of thing. And I still try to maintain a level of I guess, communication, but it's much harder nowadays, because of the level of popularity. So that's unfortunate, but overall, I'm still very happy. I'm very glad that so many people like it, and it's definitely more of a positive thing than a negative thing. Irma Gersh asks for a gender bend and for me to swap their clothing styles, and I did that last Q&A, so you can just go back and see. I did both those things. So if you wanted to see that, then just go back and check the other Q&A, and it will be there. Beachbug30 asks, what programs do you use and what tools do you use, like type of tablet and stuff? I do Sunnyside Skies on an iPad Pro, and I use the app Procreate to draw out the comic. However, I don't think this is the best method to use, because Procreate as an app is definitely not optimized for making comics at all. You can't even make boxes in Procreate. There is no text tool, and it's just very inconvenient in terms of paneling and lettering and all that. So what I do is I do the main illustration in Procreate, and I have to move it to a separate piece of software to add in the typesetting and the balloons and all that. But you know, for my purposes, it's convenient. It's something that I can just pick up, and I'm sure there are better programs out there. Maybe you can try out Clip Studio Paint. I heard is good for comics, but I know that Clip Studio Paint has recently been released for the iPad Pro, but it's on a subscription model and it's a bit expensive. So I know that if I use their free trial, I'm gonna end up getting used to the program. And you know, Procreate is okay for me. It's a one-time only fee that you pay, and it's not that expensive. So I plan to stick with Procreate, even though I know that Clip Studio Paint might be more optimized. I don't think it's worth it, to be honest, with their current subscription model, but hey, you can try it if you want to. As for the iPad Pro itself, it's more of a convenience thing. You can do the same types of artwork with a pen tablet and a laptop or a computer or whatever it is you have, and you don't have to shell out so much money for the tablet. It's really a matter of convenience. It's something I can just pick up and start working on, and that's the main appeal of it. But you can do the same type of work with just a pen tablet and a computer, or even just pen and paper if you'd like to do that, though it is quite a bit harder to do, and you would have to scan in your images or take pictures of them, which can be quite a bit of work. Pixel Gears 10 says, you're a high schooler, right? Any advice for us lower classmen who want to start comics? My main advice would be to just start, because I feel that most people's issue with making comics is that they just never start. They have these great ideas, and everyone thinks they're so amazing, and they'll talk about them or think about them all the time, and they'll never actually go through with making the actual comic, which is really unfortunate. So I would say just start as soon as you can. I know that you're going to keep wanting to revise your story because you think it's not perfect and you want it to be perfect, but the truth is it's never going to be perfect. So I think it's more important to just start, and especially if you've never done a comic before, just begin, get that experience. Even if it's not perfect, at least you got it out there, you know. Everything is going to have its flaws, and if they bother you so much, there's no harm in just starting, because you can always go back and change it, and you're going to be constantly improving. So regardless, your style is going to change, and more likely than not, you're going to end up wishing you had done better anyway. And you know, it's something that's unavoidable, so I say just go through with it. Don't worry too much about it not being the greatest thing ever, because honestly, nothing is ever going to be 100% amazing. It's more important that you go through with it and have the discipline to carry on with it. So that's about the gist of it. There were over 2,000 comments on this episode, so I wasn't able to get to all of the questions, but at the very least, I hope I was able to answer the most frequently asked questions. And to be honest, I want to start getting more into YouTube videos and posting more. I usually don't do these types of voiceovers, and I'd like to post more videos in the future. So I mean, if you'd like to see more of these, go ahead and let me know. Or if you think they're boring and you want me to stop, then you can also let me know, and you know, I'll take that into account as well. But that's basically it for this video. It's a lot easier for me to answer these questions in the form of a video, because I don't have to write and do pictures. I was able to get to quite a few more this time around. But yeah, thanks again for 100,000 subs, and I hope that you continue to read the comic in the future. Okay, bye.